everyone, welcome to another video. So I talk quite often, as you probably know, about ways of saving money, specifically in relation to luxury. But the other thing, and the thing I'm focusing on in this, is all the brands that I would never buy full price because I know that I don't have to. These brands include Balmain, Givenchy, Balenciaga, some items from Prada, some items from Fendi, Manolo Blahnik heels. Honestly, the list of brands that you probably don't know you can get a discount on is big. Now, how do you get a discount? The first way I'm going to start with is online. Online is the easiest way of scoring a discount, for the reason being that very often you can do newsletter sign-ups, which will offer you sometimes like a 10%. I know that My Teresa does those, and it's kind of on and off. I feel like they add it on the website and then they take it off. If you've already got an account, use a different email address. If you've run out of email addresses because you've used them all, set up a new one. It's worth the hassle, particularly if you're buying a large ticket price item. If you're going to be saving a couple of £100, let's say, and all you've had to do is muck around and create a new email address, then what's wrong with that? So that's the first thing. But the other key thing, and this is why I want to talk about this, is online sales. There are several points in the year where you can get discounts on these items. The first is the period of time after Christmas. The second is Easter. The third is summer sales, so between June and July. And then the fourth, and I would say the biggest, and this is the time of the year where I have bought most of my designer stuff at discount, is between September and the end of November. It's that lead up to Cyber Weekend. Every year, Cyber Weekend, it's getting earlier by the year. So I even know some companies, and they start their Cyber Weekend stuff in October. You need to be prepared for these sales because some of these companies are so cheeky. You're waiting until the end of November, and then it's like, boom, they kicked it off on November the 1st, and you're not prepared, and you're like, there was some stuff I wanted, but I can't remember what it is. So here's the first thing that I do. There is an app called Shohet. I've spoken about it so many times before. I've saved an incredible amount of money with it, and it's free and it's brilliant. What you do, you create an account. I've put a link below to it. So if you don't know what it is and you're not sure where to get it, go to the link. It's not an affiliate link. When you go to that link, all you need to do is create an account, and then there is a blue button that you install on your internet browser. You only do it once, and then when you're browsing around the internet, or if there's things that you know, I would consider buying these if they ever go on sale, go and find those items, click the blue button, and you can save it into what is effectively your own private homepage of all of the things that you have ever tagged. No one else can see that page except you. And if anything ever goes on sale, it sends you a notification real time. It also has a really amazing section for coupon codes. Now, I personally can't stand coupon code websites. I used to feel like, going back 5 years or maybe even more, those coupon code websites, does anyone feel the same here? They used to be really good. Yeah, you'd have a few duds on there or some that were seriously out of date, but I always used to use it for ASOS, and I could always find a 10 or a 20% off coupon somewhere. Now, I don't know what's gone on with those coupon code websites. I don't even use them anymore because I know that I could spend half an hour to an hour trying all sorts of different codes, and actually none of them are valid. Some of them are actually just made up numbers just to get you to click links on that page. Another tip that you need to do when you are saving things, if, for example, you have seen a dress that you really like, don't just save it from one particular retailer. Save it from multiple, whether that's Farfetch, My Teresa, Matches, Louisa Via Roma. The reason for that is sometimes I've noticed, particularly on Farfetch actually, sometimes their stuff will go on sale, but that one item on the others never goes on sale. One other quite cool feature is when you're saving things, so that your homepage doesn't end up like just a massive mess of stuff, which mine does most of the time, you can create your own bespoke lists and you can call them what you want. So you might have like coats and bags and shoes, and it means that when you're going through your homepage and it's got all your stuff there, if you don't want to be like scrolling forever, you can just click straight to a category to see everything contained in that category. So it's the quickest and most efficient way of being able to manage everything that you might eventually consider buying and keeping an eye on it and being first to the post whenever there is a sale released. Honestly, you can't beat the machine. Now is the time to start creating those lists as well, because so many of the Cyber Weekend, autumn kind of Christmassy promotions start happening anywhere between September and October. So if you've got it saved, it's the best thing to do. The other thing I was going to say, Louisa V. Aroma customers, you know there is this like annoying, I don't want to call it a nightmare because that's an exaggeration, but there's this annoying thing with starred icons. So they've put a star on things if they're not eligible for a promo. Those stars drive me mad because they add and subtract them and you don't know what's going on. So really, another reason why I use Shop Tagger is I will tag things because they might not be included in this particular promo. Like right now there's a 50% off promo going around, but it's not on starred things and there's really not much included in it. But I've tagged things knowing or hoping that by the time October and November come, the star might have been removed off those items, and therefore any promotions that they do in that month for Cyber Weekend, I can actually bag that item for a discount. So even if you think it's not going to go on sale, tag it anyway, there is no harm in doing that. Just after I filmed this video, I noticed this new feature which has come on here. And what it is that when you're signed in to Shop Tagger and you go onto a website and you get to the checkout, you've got to get to the checkout page, this new window pops up where it says that it's going to scan for all known coupon codes at the time. And as you can see here on Revolve, it basically is scrolling through and then it got me £25.90 off. I love this because it means I don't actually have to go and do the work anymore. In-store is a bit harder, but it's not impossible. I mentioned earlier about Harrods. They have this 10% off day. I think it's either 2 or 4 times a year. If you get the Harrods rewards card, which is free, it's like the Boots Advantage card where you pay for things and then you get a point back for every pound that you spend. I can't remember what level you've got to get to, but there are 3 tiers of points in that program. When you get to a certain level of points or tier, you can request up to 2 10% off days any day that you would like in the year, and you just log into your account and you can stipulate when it's going to be. Now that 10% off doesn't cover Chanel and Dior, etc., but it does cover what I mentioned earlier: Stella McCartney, Valentino, Givenchy. Doesn't cover Fendi. Fendi you can get online. You've got to get the Fendi discount through My Teresa, either through, at the moment they've got a 10% off for new customers, or Louisa V. Aroma. As long as it's not got a star by it, very often you can still buy those things for a discount. You've also got things like the Nordstrom anniversary sale. So the in-store places do it. I just feel that they're not as frequent or easily accessible as online. And then the final thing, I really wanted to talk about outlet shopping villages and shopping malls. I actually went to one a couple of years ago in Portugal that was quite good, I will say, and I've been to Bicester Village in the UK a couple of times. Have a Google and have a look to see what's around you. Very often they can be pretty good, and you can get different tiers, I want to say, of shopping outlet. You can get the ones where the outlets are kind of like not Zara, but that sort of level. Levi's, Juicy Couture, that sort of level. But then you can also, or Ralph Lauren, but then you can also get the more premium ones like Bicester Village, where you've got Dior, Yves Saint Laurent, Gucci. The downside and the pros and the cons with outlets, starting with the downside. Very often, if you go there without a strategy, they can be full of junk. I've been to Bicester Village a couple of times, and every time I go, I'm like, oh God, I'm never going to come back here, because it takes me ages to get here, and then I get here and there's nothing, and it's always really crowded and really busy. But I then got told this tip. Bicester Village, the stores, get a delivery pretty much daily, most days, according to the person that I know who happens to work there. At the same time, there are shuttle services, bus services that run between London, Manchester, and that drive people there, mainly tourists. Now, if you go to Bicester Village, I have noticed quite a few times, a lot of the tourists that are there, they actually go there with suitcases. They are serious shoppers. You've got to get there early in the morning, because if the deliveries turn up in the morning and all the tourists are coming off the buses early in the morning, and then you turn up there at 2 o'clock and have a leisurely lunch and then go for a walk round, you're already not going to find many sizes in things and most of the stuff's going to be gone. That was always the mistake that I made. At Bicester Village, I think from memory there is a hotel fairly close by, so if you really wanted to be quite serious about it, you could do that. But the key is try and get there as early in the morning as possible and have a strategy for the stores you want to go to first. I'm going to put below any coupon codes that I know of right now that just got sent to me on a newsletter, email newsletter kind of thing. Also, if My Teresa are doing the 10% off your first purchase thing, I'll try and grab the link for that. If the banner's still there when I go and look now, I'll try and grab the link for that. I'll basically share below any coupon codes I know for any websites. And by the way, these coupon codes, they're not affiliate, they're nothing to do with Blogger. They're the kind of coupon codes that you get sent to you on emails, so anyone can get them. It's just I'm gonna try and gather any that I happen to have been sent recently. I'm really proud to say that I'm collaborating with ShopTagger on this video, which for me is a great pleasure, because when I have a brand that wants to work with me, that feels really great, but it's even better when it's a brand that I'm already using, and I've already spoken about it before, and they're actually good. That really, really does mean a lot, so I'm very grateful to them. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you found something here that helps, and I will see you in the next video.